Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to focus on relationships. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how being difficult is actually a compliment. Now, before I get into today's video, I'm coming into this topic assuming that you've been on my channel for quite a bit and you understand the importance of nervous system regulation and how beliefs are shaping your perception, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, and how you're responding to life. So we are creating our life on a moment-to-moment basis based off of how we're showing up, how we're interpreting, and how we're responding to situations, how we're choosing to mentally persist forward. In today's video, I want to talk about two things, which is you should allow yourself to have options and be only committed to people that genuinely commit to you, and why being difficult is not a bad thing. Let's talk about the first thing though, having options. Oftentimes when people go out into dating, due to certain beliefs that they hold regarding limited availability of people that they may find attractive or limited availability of people that may meet their wants and needs, they tend to attach very quickly and become committed to individuals before commitment is even reciprocated. And in my opinion, this is not the best way to approach dating. Additionally, we want to address those two things that I just brought up. Really establishing beliefs generally that there are plenty of men or women that can meet our wants and needs. There are plenty of men or women that we're attracted to that we can be in a relationship with. When you operate this way, you're going to be approaching dating more from a stance of kind of interviewing people and seeing, do I actually want to be with you? You're going to be assessing their actions more, and you're going to allow them to display a level of consistency within their behaviors and their commitment to you, genuine commitment to you, before you genuinely commit to them. Another reason why I recommend having options and not committing to anybody until you get genuine commitment first, and this is obviously geared towards women. Men should be in the pursuer role, they should be the ones committing, okay? The reason why it's good to allow yourself to have options is because this prevents you from internalizing any BS. So the moment you see something that you don't like, because you have allowed yourself to have options, you're able to remain very discerning. You're able to adjust yourself very quickly. You're realizing that this person is interviewing for one of the most important positions within your life, and I'm talking about major red flags. The moment you see something you really don't like, because you've allowed yourself to have options and you haven't become mentally committed way too soon, you're able to adjust yourself and remove yourself. This sets an example in general. If you want to be in my life, you need to treat me properly. This gives men the opportunity to rise up to meet you where you are. And if they don't rise up to meet you where you are, you have other options and people that you can entertain. This avoids a lot of wasted time, confusion, and the reality is a man, when he is approaching you to date you, should make it consistently clear that he's interested in you and wants to be with you, displays serious actions that show they're highly interested. At no point should you be feeling confused, questioning, or wondering how some man feels towards you. So allowing yourself to have options is where you're able to remain discerning. A key point that I want to make here, though, is I'm not talking about having a whole roster and playing everybody. So you want to be within a belief system where you're emotionally available and will actually commit and you take care of yourself in a way that shows you know you deserve commitment. So you're going to reciprocate it when you actually get it. But when you don't actually get it, you're not internalizing that treatment and you're able to adjust yourself quickly. This is how you need to operate when it goes into dating and getting to know people. Again, it's just the smartest approach. It's going to prevent you from getting negatively attached, obsessed, or waiting for things or asking for treatment that you don't need to be asking for. The next topic that I want to talk about is being difficult is actually a compliment. All right, so let's talk about this because I want to break this down very logically. There are some people online that will tell you, and maybe even in your immediate reality, that having standards, you're too difficult, wanting your exact type, you're too difficult, wanting consistent loving treatment, you're too difficult. All of these, you're too difficult statements, I want you to really think what people are saying. Okay, if it's the opposite sex, the sex that you're attracted to, what they're saying is, I'm not used to having to try so hard to show somebody that I care about them, actually show up for them and commit to them. If it's people of the same sex, they're passing judgment because they're not used to having standards and they see themselves as somebody that is easier to get. So, when is being easy a compliment? That's what I want to know. When does somebody want to raise their hand and say, I'm really easy? I'm really easy. You can totally get me in bed easily. You could totally get me to commit to you easily. You don't have to treat me properly. I will easily love you and you can treat me like crap. Is that a compliment? Or are people attempting to pass judgment onto you and shame you for not settling in the same ways they have settled? It is okay to have standards, and actually being difficult is a compliment. Why am I going to be easy for a relationship when I'm going to have to wake up next to that person? I'm going to have to share finances with that person, a social life, and a personal space. Yeah, I'm going to be difficult because I know the right man or the right woman is going to appreciate the standards that I have. They're going to rise up to the occasion to meet me where I am. And if you're not that person, thank you for letting me know that. It's as simple as that. You brush these people off. You don't need their approval. This is your life. You're creating your life. When are we going to stop allowing people's judgments and their lack of standards and their willingness to settle for a mediocre life? When are we going to stop letting that define who we are and what we can create for ourselves? Because I can guarantee you, settling for mediocrity and having no standards and being easy isn't going to get you a relationship that you want. You could easily get a relationship, no problem. You could walk out the door right now and get a relationship. Is it going to be one that you actually want? Is it going to be one where you're treated properly? Probably not. Not unless you have standards, you know who you are, you know what you want, and you don't compromise on those things. So be difficult. The right people will rise up to the occasion. And women watching this, a man that is actually masculine, that actually takes initiative, is going to appreciate you having standards because in his mind, he's going to see that as, oh, she's not easily going out and sleeping around with a whole bunch of people. She respects herself. I like that she's not easy. I like that I have to put in effort to gain her trust and commitment. Anybody that doesn't operate that way is a loser. That's just the reality of the situation. And they're trying to shame you and put you down and get you to lower their standards so that they can get you into a relationship where they don't have to try hard. Or the people around you have no standards and they settle for mediocrity, and you're triggering them by setting an example that you're not going to settle. So don't let these people's projections stop you from having standards. Be difficult and allow yourself to have options, and don't become committed to anybody until they genuinely commit to you first. If you can take this approach in dating, you're going to be very happy. All right. I hope you have a beautiful day, night time, wherever you are. I will see you all later. Love you so much. Bye.